It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All righty. Daddy's home, boys. I will serve no fries before their time. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the Loose Cannon. With our boy Bake on the update desk for us, we're all good. How you feeling?
I feel good, man. It's good to see you, AR. It's good to see you, TLC.
Ice, good to see you.
Whoa. Tress popping up on the show.
He's back.
Good to hear from you, Tress.
You have the whole thing?
I can get the whole thing.
All right.
I just wanted to drop.
He recovered that?
Okay.
Ice, good to see you.
This is like a Raiders of the Lost Ark thing. You have found the Holy Grail. Like you chose wisely. 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, we'd take the show on the road. You know where my heart is. We take the show to Gigi's shelter outing, and we try to get some animals adopted, and my wonderful friend Tina Skestos and her incredible shelter do an awesome job, and we take the show there. You were off 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Thidoff filled in.
Shout out to Tito.
I get to the show. Thidoff's late, of course. I'm not sure if Tress knows Thidoff from the golf ranger out there.
Wait, how late was Tito?
I don't remember. So we sit down to start the show. You have the whole intro from this 2 years ago? Because CB couldn't find it or didn't look hard enough.
Yeah, I can get it to you if you
take your time.
I think we
if
now
you saw
know
it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
I think we now know it's the latter. That CB didn't look hard enough. Because he made it seem like this was just in the wind.
Gone.
You
Ether.
can never
Deleted.
recover it.
Tom Brady's phone. It's not being recovered. Anyway, all right. Don't go crazy on that. We'll find it. We got 3 hours to find it. Yes, it's good to be back. Sorry I was off yesterday, but it was one of those special type days to try to represent the show here and the fan at Memorial Media Day. It's coming up, and it's traditional, nice little slot here at the end of the month. And Memorial Day weekend for the big part of the tournament.
You don't need to apologize for that. I mean, me or hanging out at Jack's place and drinking milkshakes. You're hanging out and drinking milkshakes at Jack's place all day and tomorrow.
So
I don't blame you
knew
for that.
the weather was going to be garbage. I knew it.
Tough.
Bake was like, aren't you excited about tomorrow? I'm like, not really. No. I mean, Anthony, listen, this is Jack Nicklaus. The course is going to play 10,000 yards tomorrow. Are you interested?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. That's not the kind of golf I play. I don't walk. I don't love walking, especially that place. I know it's good for you. I try to get on the bike every now and then and stay active, but when it comes to golf, it's really not.
Put me in a cart, baby.
I don't worry about that anymore. And then you add the weather, and you add slogging it around there, and then it's not the other reason it's not the golf we play. There's no place to miss out there and get away with it. I did this in my head the other day. There are only about 5 or 6 holes out there that you can be short of the green. Just play short, because the two ideas are: think of the thickest thatch you'd ever want to play in. Okay, you got that in your mind? Now double it.
Okay.
That's what the rough is out there. So you want to stay out of the rough, and you want to stay out of the bunkers, because those are a lot more cavernous than most courses you'd play. The only places you can really be short out there and get away with it is one, and I'm talking about like forced carries where you have to carry something or it's death, you lose the ball.
Gotcha.
1, you can be short. 2, you can be short left. 3, no. 4, yes, the par 3. 5, you can be right, but not really short. 6, you can't be short unless you're right, but there's water. 7, you can't be short. 8, you can't be short. 9, you can't be short. 10, you can, but that's a short par 5 for most of us, even though it's a par 4 for them. 11, you can't. 12, of course you can't. 13, you can. 14, no. 15, no. 16, short right, water, I won't count it. 17 no, 18 yes, but it'll come back down to you.
By the way, that's one of the biggest flexes you've ever done on the show. You've played that course so many times
So I've covered
that you have it memorized. You know how many people would just dream to be there, let alone play it?
That's why
It's the life of Anthony Rothman, folks.
That's why I don't like doing what I'm doing now, which is telling you that I wasn't praying for rain, but once I saw what it was,
you were like,
I was leaning into it. And by the way, that milkshake line for the media,
yeah, how was that?
Brings all the boys to the yard. It was about 8 deep when I was leaving anyway.
Did I see our boy Metz was there? Metz, was he in the house?
That's right.
It looked like he was getting after it. He was putting out some pictures, maybe some videos. It was good to see Metz, I'm sure. Hope he's doing well. But yeah, it looked like Metz was all over kind of the milkshake scene yesterday out there at Jack's Place. So unfortunate that you guys didn't get to play golf. But you're like, hey, you know what? I don't care. I've played it many a times. I don't need this course anymore. Jack's Place.
I need it
to play this on the simulator.
And by the way, I did. No one was going to tell me I couldn't play Muirfield yesterday. But no, it's good to be back. We'll have our normal crew today. We'll have Schefter on, Senior NFL Insider, ESPN. We will have, thank you for booking Heather Dinich today, because she had kind of a little bombshell story about the weird separation between Jim Knowles and Ohio State. She had that interview. I really want to pick her brain about touched on this last week, where the CFP did everything they could to prop up whatever Cinderella was going to be and gave them every advantage going in, and it still didn't work. Not even close to working. And maybe a lot of people like that. They didn't want the Cinderella. You and I had a great contention, Maddie, that you have to seed them as you rank them. What are we playing the games for? But now we're in an era of the big boys, if they stroke enough checks, pay enough money, you can buy a great roster, then it's the coach's job to make sure that roster can be great, which is what Ohio State did last year. And then, so of all these other schools, and they were probably doing it before, but now everyone came on the show, they're going to do the Ohio State model. Like, okay, great. You were buying talent before. So you're going to buy better talent, more talent? I don't know. That's up to them to know who to spend the money on. But the bottom line is I'm wondering now if the CFP would stay with the way they're doing it, because if the big boys are going to just keep buying,
which it looks like they will continue to do,
and even more and more and more and more until they salary cap this thing or whatever, then maybe they leave they're not really Cinderellas, but the underlings, but we need to give them that leg up.
And is it even a leg up?
Well,
right, because at the end of the day,
we don't know for sure, but you're advancing them around.
I love what you said right there. We don't know for sure, because while we can identify some changes that we want, and I think the rankings and what you touched on there, that needs to happen with how they're seated. I'm in favor of that. We've only seen one version of this new playoff, so I don't want dramatic changes happening just yet. But to me, it does feel like a lot of what we've seen in the history of this sport, where the headline programs around the country will continue to dominate because of what you mentioned, right? Not only the money, but because guys want to hop on that moving train and hop in those facilities and be a part of history, whether it's at Ohio State and Alabama, Notre Dame, or Georgia. Like, those guys are always going to get the best talent to me at the end of the day. You just have to hope and pray that if you are, quote, a Cinderella, that you have enough talent top to bottom to compete not only in one game, but multiple games. And I just don't see that ever happening. Like, you can clip one team, you catch them on the wrong day, they suffer an injury within the game to a key player, and you eliminate them. But can you move on round by round if you are an SMU and you haven't recruited and you don't have the financial backing the way some of these programs have? I just don't see that happening. So I always, to me, it feels like we'll have like one-offs every now and then. But I don't think we're going to have a Cinderella run through the bracket and go all the way to be a national champ when some of the programs around college football are going to me, sustain their high level of play, but also have the financial support that other programs just don't have.
It's a great point. I also believe, and this is where if you sat down Ryan Day, it would be a great, I don't know if he was ever asked this as a variation of the tournament. If you didn't get seeded 8th, and let's say you didn't have to play Tennessee out of the gate at home. Let's say somehow the bracket, well, no, you'd have to play a game to feed into Oregon. My point was going to be, What if you had to play Oregon first off Michigan? No Tennessee, no home game, no confidence builder, no find your way. That was your first game. Would it have been the same? Or did you feel the momentum that you gained out of the whacking of Tennessee made the mindset of the team feel more invincible again?
Yeah, it's a fair question to ask. We'll never know, but I'm going to bet on the mental focus and the realignment of last year's team that they would do the same thing. That team was so hungry to correct that wrong, and they had the talent to do it. And so they came out of that Michigan loss so mentally sharp that I think that run would have been the same. Maybe not the beat down of Oregon the way it was, but I think they would have won the game.
Let me ask you this. Would it have changed your opinion if somehow they were seeded even lower and they played Texas in round 1 and not Tennessee? Or played Penn State again in round 1, not Tennessee?
I viewed those teams at the time, Penn State and who's the other team you just mentioned in Texas? I viewed them in a more positive light than I did Tennessee. So it would have felt to me when we talked about the games like it would have been tougher for them to do, but I still would have believed in what I thought they could have been all year long, which is the national champion, in which they ended up being. So the grind would have been tougher, but I still think they would have found a way to complete the story.
It was the perfect igniter. Getting the Vols up here, 26 degrees,
shirts off,
minus wind chill, blood in the water they felt. Buckeyes get the home game. And you and I discussed this for 10 minutes when Herbie threw out, well, maybe it's better if they went on the road. That if the first quarter didn't go well, here come the boo birds, and then it just feeds what's already hanging over the program. I saw his point. I wouldn't have said. I just think publicly it was. I knew what he wanted to say. It certainly didn't come off that way to Buckeye Nation, but I could kind of see where he was going with it because you go on the road, you galvanize. We've heard teams talk about what's that like to hit a game silencing 3 on the road versus at home, and it's just you. It's just your guys.
Ask Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. Yes, we will next. But anyway, we'll ask Heather all this at 1:30. So she'll be on. And then we're going to slide the big fella, Bobby Carpenter, to 2:30 today from the Morning Juice and pick his brain. And we've got a lot for you. So we'll come back. Cavs collapse or Pacer prowess. This one not only was a gut punch, but it might lead to an early exit. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card. They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
Do your good-looking shoes hurt and you don't want to wear ugly shoes? At the Good Feet store, we can help you wear your heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
The Buckeye Show.
Hey friends, Beamer here. You're used to hearing me on your ride into work. Starting Monday, you can hear me on your ride home on the Buckeye Show, Monday night at 6, right here on The Fan.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Most Ohioans believe every student, regardless of zip code, income, or background, deserves a great public education. And it's Ohio's dedicated public school educators who make that possible. This Teacher Appreciation Week, join the Ohio Education Association in saying thank you. Tell us about a teacher making a big impact and they could win a vacation package from NEA member benefits or other great prizes, including pizza for their students. Go to ohea.org to nominate a teacher, because public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Enjoy the nice weather today. A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon of a high in the 70s. We'll drop to the low 50s tonight. 60s tomorrow as scattered showers come back in for your Thursday. We'll be back to dry weather in 60s Friday, sunshine, and 70s as we head into your Mother's Day weekend. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
We're at the Gigi's Drive for Dogs golf outing here at Cumberland Trail Golf Club and the Cumberland Trail Bar and Grill in Pataskala. And one of my favorite people I've ever had a chance to cover here in my 3 decades at Ohio State, and it's a man who guided this program to a national championship, 6 Big Ten championships. You trying to add 10 more years to my life?
3 or 4, Rob. I wasn't
yes,
sure.
No, we're closing in on 30.
Okay.
Not 40.
Right,
4 different decades.
That's
well,
right.
4 different decades. You're right. Yeah, it's the Rusty Stomp thing. Yeah, 4 different decades. You played 4 different decades. You're good.
My man, Jim Tressel. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Nice, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right, so where do we start?
All right. I mean, between Fidoff saying thank you and you laughing, I think that might be my favorite part outside of Tress.
I mean, the fact that he thought he was Ice.
Oh, man.
And I don't blame him because he heard the intro. I said Rothman and Ice. But Fidoff had just introduced himself to him. Not that Tress needed to commit that to memory, but the fact remains that I'm so happy you found that.
Yeah, we need
I was so just crazy sad when we lost that. And CB told us it was gone and couldn't be found. And you did it in 10 minutes or less.
We need CB to explain himself. We're going to need CB to come down and explain himself.
I don't even think I heard Tito said thank you.
No. Yes, he did. You could hear in the background, you could hear him say
you'd have to go to just that part.
Well, here we go.
I don't need to hear the whole thing.
We just did.
My man, Jim Tressel. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Ice, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So
did he? You can hear the subtle in the background.
It's very, very quick.
He said thank you. You can hear Thidoff in the background.
Sure.
You say thank you, and then you can hear him in the background say play.
It's a thank you. Real quick.
We're at the Gigi's Drive. Going out of here.
I had it. All right, here we go. I got it again.
My man, Jim Tressel. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you.
Ice, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
He did. Thank you.
You did. Thank you.
Oh, so
well,
good,
why wouldn't someone want to be you for a day?
I don't know.
Right? Maybe even more than a day.
Yeah, because who could tell Tito and Ice apart?
You don't correct Jim Tressel. So Tito played it the right way.
Well, not
you
only
don't
that.
correct a national championship
Well,
coach.
later
you don't
later in the show, he starts talking about the 310 days you'll be proud of in the classroom and on the field. He goes, when you gave that speech at St. John Arena, and I looked at him going,
wrong venue, big dog.
And then Tress looked at him and goes, how old do you think I am? It was at the Shot.
At the Shot, baby. Value City.
St. John Arena. When you and Fred Taylor, when you were, all right, so that's that. Anyway, we'll attempt to go back because I know Tress is going to be back again.
Okay.
So now maybe we can pull the old switcheroo.
And I'm there.
Maybe you're actually there.
We'll call
I'll
him
just
Tito.
say, right, Rothman and Tito that day.
Tito?
Then we'll really mess with his brain. All right. So, by the way, you cannot talk about these collapses just as one. These NBA teams that are getting got in game one, which is when you usually can get them. But let's go to the Cavs. And I'm not even talking about the 20 or the late 3 at the third. That's fine. You're right. Indiana stayed in it mentally. But when you're up 7 with under a minute, and I went back and I really, really looked at this, and there were 3 things, and I don't know which one bothered me the most. Probably the inbounding. But a lot of it was the defense. It was just letting guys drive right past them. Because I'll go through my own play-by-play real fast. You can tell me, Maddie, where you think, where if you were a coach, you'd be like, yeah, that was horrible. So they're up 7 with under a minute, and Halliburton has it, and he drives right past Strus, no problem, and gets it to Siakam underneath. He gets fouled as the Cavs, I thought, were preventing the 3 at that point. Siakam misses the first, so it's still a 7-point game. And on the second miss, Mitchell gets caught not just talking. Now, he's hurting, but talking and not paying attention, and Nesmith just flies in, and he has to chase him, and he follows Dunk right over him, and now they're down 5, and Mitchell's on the floor forever. But he didn't bother boxing out at all. He had no position outside. That's pretty bad. Mitchell then gets caught for an offensive foul swinging that elbow that catches Nesmith to the chin. Now, it has nothing to do with intent. I don't think he didn't mean to do it. It was no flagrant. It was a basketball move, but that's Indiana ball. But that goes to a little bit of court awareness. I'm wondering if he did that based on what had just happened to him on the follow dunk.
Who knows? I don't know. Only he knows that.
Pacers now have it down 5. 35 seconds. Dean Wade overplays the perimeter, and Siakam just blows by him. Jockstrap on the court. They're down 3. Atkinson does a pretty good thing. Let's get a timeout. We got it. Come on now. We're up 3. We have the ball. Let's get a timeout.
And then what happened, AR?
Strus is inbounding on the near side of the TV as you're watching. Yeah. And where's the communication?
I don't know.
He throws up not just a bad inbounds that got picked off. It was like a deep lob into the center of the court that gets picked off. And now there's 21 seconds left. And now what Indiana does is something pretty incredible. They go for 2. They go for a quick 2. Halliburton, by the way, blows by Jerome. No defense at all. And gets fouled at the rim. 12 seconds down 3. Halliburton hits the first. So now they're down 2. You don't think he missed the second on purpose the way it looked? I don't either, because there's 12 seconds. Yeah. You can still make that, be down 1 and foul and have a tying 3. Yep. The ball bounces out to Halliburton off a tip. He stumbles out, almost loses the ball. Then puts Jerome again in a blender, driving. Now, Jerome thinks he's not going to step back. He's got him driving. And this kid, single-handedly, hero ball, steps back with 1.1 and drains the 3 and wins the game.
Yeah, Halliburton's on one right now, to say the least. And this is coming after, you remember, I think it was The Athletic put out that poll where the players in the league voted Tyrese Halliburton as the most overrated player in the league. And he's hit a game winner in the series against Milwaukee to send them home, and a potential season-ending walk-off shot last night for the Cavs with that step-back 3 that you just laid out. I'm glad you went through the details of those sequences because the Cavs all game long offensively looked the part. I mean, you got Donovan Mitchell looking like Superman out there. Historic stuff from him in a must-have-it game where you got 3 of your best players on the sideline. No Darius Garland, no Evan Mobley, no DeAndre Hunter, and you have Donovan Mitchell saying, I got us. Don't worry about it. He ends the game with 48 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds. He did a tremendous job getting in the paint, creating pressure, got to the free throw line a bunch in the game. But the late game execution and the lack of offense as well in the fourth quarter was atrocious. The Cavs only scored 21 points in the fourth. The inbounding stuff was a mess all night. All night, the inbound stuff from the Cavs was not good, and they have found a way to, unfortunately, go in a slump from 3 at the worst time. So not only do you have the key injuries going on, but you have back-to-back games where in game 1, you shoot less than 30% from 3, 23%. Game 2, you shoot 28%. They finished second in the NBA in the regular season in three-point percentage at 38%. And Ty Jerome, AR, you know I've put him in Party Like a Rockstar a few times this season because he's earned that. He was in the mix for the 6th man of the year. He's picked the worst time of the year to go cold. He's
and
picked
not only
the worst
that,
time. I mean, AR, real quick, 1 of 14 from the field last night. 26% from the floor so far after shooting 52% from the floor in the Miami series. He was needed offensively because there was no Darius Garland. And right now, Ty Jerome is just not cooking at all.
Saddest part about it is you could have won that game without Garland Mobley. And that would have really put
Hunter.
Would have put Indiana. Like, we can't even beat them without those guys.
No doubt.
And then Strus, Wade, and Jerome. If you can't shoot it, play some defense. And they didn't. And they paid for it. And this is a bad soundbite from Atkinson, and I love him, but let's play that.
I would just say collectively we ran out of gas. They kept turning it. It was impressive how they turned it up, holding, grabbing, and fouling. But that's the play. That's the playoffs. I'm not complaining about it. That the refs did a good job. I just think you have to be played through fouling and holding and grabbing, and we didn't have the force left.
Listen, I'm going to buy the fatigue factor. That's fine. But if you're going to say holding and grabbing and fouling and then say, but I'm not complaining, I think there's.
It was a thing coming out of game 1 where maybe they felt like some of the fouls were too aggressive. I will say this, though. I like the way the league is letting guys play because this is around the playoffs right now, AR, is that the physicality is at a pretty high clip. And like he said, you have to find a way to play through it. But, yeah, for a team that just looks so awesome all year long, the unfortunate injury bug coming right now is the worst possible timing, but you had a chance to steal one. And like you said, I think infused some negativity and some doubt in the minds of the Pacers, but now they're riding high.
All right, we'll talk more about it as we go forward and the actual future of the Cavs and whether we buy them coming back. And we'll have Schefter next. And the trade, the big one this morning, does it make sense for both? We'll ask him in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
At the Home Depot, we know Mother's Day is a big deal. So what are you working on for Mom this year? With a little help from the Home Depot, you can help create a space just for her. We have a wide variety of patio sets and outdoor furniture that will make the perfect gift for Mom. Just add a few hanging baskets for a pop of color and texture for the perfect finishing touch. Shop outdoor furniture, flowers, gifts, and more for Mother's Day. In-store and online at the Home Depot.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes. This week, we salute U.S. Navy veteran Ronald Jordan. For over 25 years, Ronald has served our country and community, flying critical missions, protecting top officials, and keeping our streets safe as a Springfield police officer and homicide detective. With retirement around the corner, he's looking forward to traveling with his wife. Thank you, Ronald, for a lifetime of service.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
NFL Playbook with ESPN's Adam Schefter.
Sponsored by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
All right, we're efforting Schefter here. We'll have him in moments, but allow us to set up the trade with the Steelers sending George Pickens to Dallas. This is something we talked about before the draft, Maddie, that was very possible.
Yeah, man.
And then when it didn't happen, maybe no one was going to take him on, or just they couldn't figure it out.
Well, the stuff that was out there prior to the draft was they were going to try to move him because they didn't have any second-round picks. And maybe in their mind they thought, hey, we can get him during the weekend of the draft and use that second-round pick on a replacement or whatever, needs they felt like they had up and down the roster. But this isn't a surprise because we talked to Ray Fittipaldi, I remember, in the fall, and he covers the Steelers for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and he identified that, in-house, it just wasn't as clean as they wanted it to be. It was a rocky road with George Pickens, and he highlighted that game against Kansas City on Christmas Day to where he showed up late, and so just had some in-house stuff that the Steelers obviously wanted to move on from.
Let's get the details on it from our man, Adam Schefter, the senior NFL insider from ESPN. Shefty, good to have you, my friend.
Hello there, man. I was just saying to somebody that works for the team, I was on the phone with them, and saying this is unbelievable. Like the NFL, it's May 6th, 7th, whatever today is, I don't even know. It's supposed to be the quietest time of the year, and it is in many ways, right? And we got George Pickens being traded, still questions about Aaron Rodgers, Cowboys get another receiver. Next week, the schedule's coming out. It'll be all the talk all week about the schedule. The week after is the league meetings in Minneapolis, and the tush push will be a debate. Like, we're in May, and the league just, there's always something. It's the greatest reality show going, as we say.
Yeah, it is. And I think this is a very interesting one because a talent got traded. And when you trade a talent, it is something. And maybe someone's headache is someone else's treasure. Yeah. And I also feel like, sometimes we talked about this last week, that sometimes, Shefty, when a guy leaves and he works out, it doesn't necessarily mean the team that traded him, got duped or something. Sometimes guys, when they get traded, they're more interested now in proving that team wrong or proving other people right, and it adds a certain layer of motivation instead of just falling in line and being the star there. Everyone needs a fresh start sometimes, and he's going to get one. But give me a little bit of intel on why Pittsburgh didn't want to, quote, deal with him anymore.
Well, it's funny you're saying that, right? Like, it's motivation for another guy. And I think with George Pickens, you're talking about a player who is as talented as any wide receiver in the National Football League. If we're just talking about talent and making plays, I could and would put him up against anybody. Okay? But that's not what this is about. It's about Pittsburgh not wanting to commit to him long term. It's about Pittsburgh being willing to walk away from him. And I want to be very clear here. Like, this is a team, there has not been a team that has been in this league that has been more desperate for wide receivers over the last couple of years than the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were willing to trade a guy who is as talented as any wide receiver in the league. What does that tell you?
Yeah, it says a lot for sure, Schefter. I want to ask you about Dallas's side of things now, and maybe there's level of urgency to get him under a new contract. You get a guy like this at this age, obviously you want him around. To me, to pair him with CeeDee Lamb for as long as possible. But what do you understand about Jerry and Steven over there and how quickly they want to get a deal done with Pickens?
Well, he's got 1 year left in his deal, and I think the feeling is that he'll play it out. They'll see how he likes Dallas, how they like him, and then they'll sit down and talk. They could potentially have the franchise tag available if that's what they decide. They deem him to be of that quality. That would be an option for them. It doesn't sound like they're going to be getting together anytime soon. Let's also remember here, of course, that George Pickens is represented by David Mulgeta. David Mulgeta also represents Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons and Jerry were talking, and Jerry Jones was the one who said, I don't even know who Micah Parsons' agent is, a few weeks ago at the owners' meetings. Well, now Jerry's got to deal with that agent who he was unaware of twice on two big contracts, not just one. Now, Mike is a priority, and Mike is in a different category. But, you know, George Pickens, like I said, is an all-world talent. All-world talent. And it's up to him to show that he's somebody that they want to pay and build around and have in Dallas for years to come.
The Pickens trade impacting Rodgers at all in your mind? I know it'd probably be a guess, but
not at all. Not at all. I would say that, you know, I don't think they're consulting with Aaron Rodgers the way the New York Jets did. Aaron Rodgers doesn't even play for the Steelers. But I guarantee you, I'd be really surprised if Aaron Rodgers were surprised that this trade happened today.
When it comes to Rodgers and, you know, Pittsburgh or maybe some other team, whatever he plans on doing with his future, if he does sign with Pittsburgh, what do you think that deal will look like, Schefter, as maybe years and numbers go?
Well, Aaron Rodgers himself was on the Pat McAfee show, and he floated $10 million. He said he'd be willing to play for $10 million. Didn't he say that?
He did.
He did.
Yeah. Well, that would be, he set the market rate, right? So I'll leave that to him. That's you know, he's the one that basically pointed out those numbers, not me.
Where are we with Trey Hendrickson? This kind of week to week where you hear the Bengals saying that, hey, he should probably be happy with what we're offering. He feels disrespected, and then we thought, well, maybe there's some active talk still going on, but he asked, wanted to seek a trade, didn't get one. Where are we with it?
Yeah, I don't think they've made a lot of progress since the draft. They spoke prior to the draft. They were exchanging numbers, and I don't think there's been a whole lot of contact since then. Now, again, it's not hard to revisit and get it done at some point in time and circle back, and I'm sure they will, but they haven't yet, to my knowledge.
Have there been any other teams that might try to reach back out and actually make a trade happen? Maddie and I were trying to find some landing spots for him if he didn't stay in Cincinnati, and I brought up Chicago and, to try to get that kind of sack production from him. Do you see that happening? Anything sparking a trade again?
Look, here we are a couple weeks after the draft, and George Pickens just got traded, and I wouldn't have guessed that, right? So I always think it's possible, but I don't consider it likely right now.
Okay. Schefter, going into the draft, one team that people talked about that could draft a quarterback based off of where his age is the Rams and where Stafford is now. But it looks like Stafford and the Rams have worked out a new deal and some new money. Just talk about that a little bit.
Well, yeah, that was worked out a while ago before the draft. The numbers just came out this week, but there's nothing there that is any different. The length of the deal is what was there to begin with. The numbers were what he talked about wanting. He wanted to be paid in the 40s. He was. I mean, to me, there wasn't anything in there that was earth-shattering at all.
All right, my man. Good stuff. When is the schedule coming out again?
A week from today.
Wow.
May 14th. So when we do this next week, I'm sure, there'll be some leaks at that point in time. Oh, well, this team's playing that team. Here's the opener. Because the stuff always seems to trickle out throughout the course of the day so that by the time we get to the ESPN special that night on the draft, it feels like most most of the things have been done at that point in time.
If my memory is correct, you're not a huge fan of this, are you? Didn't last year you thought maybe there was a little overhype on it, or no? Am I thinking of it wrong?
No. Look, the schedule is definitely overhyped. It is what it is. But I understand why it matters to so many people, because honestly, there are a lot of people that are planning their schedules for the fall and winter, and they want to know when their team is playing in a certain city so they can go book a vacation, or they see when their team's playing in Las Vegas or Miami or whatever it may be, so they can go down there with their friends and plan a trip. And the truth of the matter is, like, you'd love to have this information before, because all of a sudden you could go book a hotel room in Green Bay right now, or maybe they're blocking off the rooms for a Sunday in October, and the rate may be triple that at this time next week.
Yeah. The other thing is, I saw this. Pro Football Talk was intimating that Rodgers should wait until after the schedule release to see if the Steelers have a lot of weird, like, short weeks or that kind of stuff.
I don't think that's going to enter into this. I don't think. Look. I think everybody. I know he was non-committal, but I think the sense that the Steelers have given off from their owner down was that, that they believe he's going to play for them this year. That's what they believe.
Did he get married, Schefter? You have that intel.
Look, I am not a marriage insider, nor am I a wedding crasher, and so I can't tell you. And we had this debate this week. Like, I don't know too many people who have worn a ring on the fourth finger of their left hand without being married. But if there was one guy who would do that, Aaron Rodgers certainly would be a prime candidate to wear a wedding ring without being married on that finger. So you're never going to guess with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Well, after we figure that one out, then we'll send you over to Belichick and his situation. We'll let you fix that too.
Yeah, you know what? There's got to be something that's out there, some undercover reporting on all these romances, these all-season romances that are the subject of much scrutiny and speculation across the league.
Yeah, you said it was a down time. I'm just trying to fill your schedule for you. That's all.
Well, I told you. I said it was a downtime, and look what's happening. I said I didn't need any more marital gossip. Like, we didn't need any talk about any bridal showers and wedding gifts and registries. We didn't have to do that.
All right, brother. I know you'll stay on it. We'll be in touch. Thanks, bud.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Talk next on schedule release day.
Awesome. Thanks, bud. Be well. Adam Schefter with us, as always, on a Wednesday. All right, coming up next, Maddie. Maddie, I'll take you back to the draft for a quick moment when we come back, because something happened, I guess, that was so emotional that a fan has decided to get his cash. I'll tell you that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining LifeSearch to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. LifeSearch featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
This Mother's Day, be direct. Tell Mom she shines without saying a word. At Diamonds Direct, we've curated a meaningful collection of timeless gifts for every budget, from birthstone rings and stackables to diamond pendants, pearls, and stunning earrings. So here's to Mom for her love, her strength, and always putting others first. This year, she deserves a gift that lasts a lifetime, and that's our specialty. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hi, it's Bobby Carpenter. We're taking Morning Juice Digital. Catch me and Tito on the Fan's YouTube channel and the Fan 3 weekday mornings from 6 to 8. Plus, you can watch the show on the free 10 TV Plus app each morning at 10 a.m. or stream us on your smart speaker. More talk, fewer commercials, attack and dominate.
Mother's Day is this Sunday. There's still time to show the incredible moms in your life how much you love and appreciate them with a thoughtful gift from Pro Flowers. Ordering takes just a few minutes, and Pro Flowers' large selection of modern arrangements at affordable prices are sure to make you look like a gift-giving pro. So visit proflowers.com/sports or use code SPORTS at checkout for $15 off your Mother's Day order. All Pro Flowers orders are backed by our 7-day freshness guarantee, so you can gift easy with Pro Flowers.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. These two have a ton in common. Anthony loves hockey, and Matty's always cold. This is Rothman and Ice.
I read this headline this morning, and now I think you've actually seen it. But it reads, fan sues NFL for $100 million.
It's a bag, baby.
Over Shador Sanders' draft slide, citing emotional distress and trauma.
Yeah.
And my answer to that is, good luck.
The Shador soldiers are standing up already.
I gave him a Marco from Tripulia. Good luck. Like, come on, man.
They ain't getting a penny. They ain't getting a penny.
Disappointment and psychological harm. I'm a Viking fan. If anybody should be suing anybody, it's me.
Browns fans.
Get CB down here for some orange and fudge.
Exactly.
If anybody wants to file a lawsuit, it should be them. Former Colorado quarterback Shador Sanders, viewed as one of the top quarterback prospects in the draft. Many experts believed he'd be selected in the first round. However, the son of the legend Dion fell all the way to the fifth round, scooped up by the Brownies. Number 144. His draft slide surprised everyone. Did it? Did it surprise everyone?
I think
maybe? I think to the fifth?
Yeah, that surprised, I think, the majority of people.
Okay. Because I think I'm not saying that's not generally factually correct, that it was a surprise. Mm-hmm. But when you write in a story, surprised everyone. I think that's could be a little bit of a reach. But anyway, one fan so much that he's suing the NFL for punitive damages. The damages you're giving to me. For the harm caused to the plaintiff and the impact on the NFL's actions on his well-being. So here's the lawsuit. Said he's a dedicated fan of the Colorado Buffaloes and that he closely followed Sanders over the past couple seasons. Claims the reports and leaked statements suggesting that Sanders tanked interviews, wasn't prepared, and, quote, was too cocky in the pre-draft process helped create a narrative that unjustly harmed his rep. Yeah, but that's for him. He could sue those people then, not you. These slanderous statements caused emotional distress and trauma. All right, what? I need to find out what. Did you have to check yourself into a clinic? What happened? Or did you not go to work the next day? Charlie Brown, did you not wake up? Did the sun not shine? Right. You lost weight? What happened? In addition to the $100 million, in addition to, what do you want, a piece of the franchise?
Season tickets, baby, the Browns.
He wants a formal acknowledgement from the NFL regarding his emotional distress.
What is this guy's name?
John Doe.
Oh, okay.
Kuiper.
Tell you what, want a retraction of the slanderous statements made by Shador and others?
Yeah, Mel was in his feelings.
Want an apology and caused his reputation? So he wants a retraction. He wants an apology formally, and he wants the implementation of fair practices in the drafting process to ensure that talented players are recognized and given opportunities based on merit. Well, guess what? They could take that and flip it on you. That maybe they felt him not getting drafted was more on merit and not on that other stuff. Any additional remedies the court deems appropriate, including compensatory damages. So now he's saying, I'll take the $100 million, but if the court says I should be allowed more, I'll also take it.
Look, this guy wants $100 million. TLC wants to take Alexandra Daddario on a date. It ain't happened, either one of them. But I do want to play this.
Which one's more likely?
We've played this game before, but not with those two things.
This guy getting $100 million or you taking Alexandra Daddario on a date?
I think I got a better shot with Alexandra Daddario.
Let me ask you this. Is she single?
I don't know.
Well, that adds a layer of
He may not even care. He may be Mr.
That raises the degree of difficulty.
No.
He might
Rings matter. Rings matter.
He might be Mr. Steal Your Girl over there. You got to watch out for him.
No.
It's just that simple.
It might be.
I'm not on Temptation Island. I just watch it.
Hey,
maybe you'd like to be.
However, if they ever invite me, I'll do it.
You're built for that?
Well, now that I'm in this career, I'll kind of do anything for a good story.
Okay. He is. At least he's honest.
You know how much content you would get?
That's very nice.
At least he's honest. Real quick, AR, Tom Brady.
He's saying that we can farm him out for things.
Tom Brady was on Logan Paul's podcast called Impulsive. And he asked him about Shador, and here's what Tom said about texting or talking to Shador during the draft.
I wasn't a part of any evaluation process. I actually texted Shador because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
All right, so there are two things there.
It's the GOAT talking to you.
I believe him, but I also don't believe that the Raiders wouldn't have gone to him to get his take on Shador. Why wouldn't they?
Well, there was reports out there that Brady had a lot of say in what they were doing at quarterback.
Say and being heard are two different things.
You'd be a fool not to talk to Tom Brady about that.
Of course. He's he's a minority owner.
No doubt.
Why wouldn't you get his take on, hey, if you watch the kid's tape, you clearly know him. And
he's worked out with him privately.
Yeah. Now, if he said, yes, I think you should pick him, they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he has a plausible deniability that I have no real, I can't force this through even if I wanted.
And he would never.
Nor could I force through a don't take him.
Yeah, he would never throw out there publicly how much power he really has. I do think Davis out there absolutely hears crystal clear what Tom Brady has to say about football because it's smart to do that, especially at that position. This guy knows what it takes. Regardless of where he was picked, Tom Brady was in the league for a long time and played at the highest level for a long time. And so, look, he's going to help out Geno Smith, I'm sure, over there in Vegas, and he's going to help out the quarterbacks in the future because that's what you're there for if you're Tom Brady.
Two things. One, she is married, and she got married 3 years ago.
But she's a celebrity, so you know that ain't lasting.
Number two,
it's real.
And this is where you could either have a leg up or not. I wouldn't know because I don't know her, is that he is older.
Oh.
Like in my neighborhood.
His name's Andrew Form.
So I feel like you either could play the youth card or that could hurt you. I don't know. But the other thing I will admit, and you have to admit this, there is another complete layer of degree of difficulty that she is married. If she was single,
100%.
I'd give you a...
But again, she's a celebrity, so it's not going to work out. And also, we're comparing this to somebody suing the NFL for $100 million because I'm upset Shador didn't get drafted where I wanted him to.
Andrew Form, AR, is a film and TV producer. He's best known for his work on horror films like The Purge, A Quiet Place, and The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So, being a radio producer, I need to transition to TV and movies.
There you go. Andrew Form, 56 years old.
All right, we come back, top of the hour, and speaking of separations, the separation details from a former Buckeye assistant coach. We'll give that to you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bob, you know what I love the most about you?
That I pay you to do these commercials?
That and the way you treat your customers.
All right, listen. I will hook you up in our warm, inviting environment. You will be greeted by our top sales professionals that are non-commissioned, but will help guide you through the entire process.
You're my guy, Bob. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com. Tell them Bob Capace sent you.
No matter where you are, Coughlin is there, in store or online. CoughlinCars.com. 13 new car brands, over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles, 16 convenient locations for sales, service, and parts, plus 4 state-of-the-art collision centers. CoughlinCars.com. Shop locally owned, CoughlinCars.com.
Coughlin has the car for you. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around at golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-228-4544. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 11th. Just like Mom to the Rescue, Oakland Nursery has their annual flat sale with huge savings worthy of Mom. Select flats of marigolds, begonias, petunias, and impatiens, normally $19.99, now just $15.99 during this huge sale. 32 plants per flat, all for just $15.99, and all for Mom. Oakland Nursery is 35 acres of outdoor shopping and pure gardening pleasure. For 85 years, Central Ohio moms have looked forward to flowering Mother's Day gifts from Oakland Nursery.
Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bats are us when dreams sunk in. Bats are us.
AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio is your Medicaid plan for more benefits, more rewards.
We know that good health means more than just seeing a doctor when you're sick. Eligible members can receive extras like home-delivered meals and family essentials, like baby carriers and kids' school supplies. Members can even earn rewards for playing mobile health trivia games. Learn more at AmeriHealthCaritasOH.com and call the Ohio Medicaid Consumer Hotline at 1-800-324-8680 to choose AmeriHealth Caritas Ohio.
If my buttery smooth voice represents the photos in your social media feed,
and this is closer to what real life is like. Social media can be fun, but remember, it's only showing you
the filtered version of life. So when social media is stressing you out, check in on yourself and remember, it's not the whole story. For more tips on reducing your stress, go to mha.ohio.gov/check-in. A message from the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got day baseball going on right now in the nation's capital. They're in the bottom of the fourth, and the Washington Nationals lead the Cleveland Guardians 3-0. Former Guardians players Ahmed Rosario and Alex Call both have 2 hits in the game for the Nationals. The Cincinnati Reds looking to snap a 4-game losing streak tonight in Atlanta when they take on the Braves at 7:15. Hunter Green versus Grant Holmes, the pitching matchup in that one. You can hear it over on ESPN Columbus. Pregame gets underway at 6:45. The Columbus Clippers with a day game as well. They're over in Indianapolis taking on the Indians at 1:35 this afternoon. NBA playoffs tonight. The Knicks are in Boston to face the Celtics at 7. OKC hosts Denver at 9:30. This one brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. You can view their full selection of vehicles online, germaintoyota.net.
Anthony can follow direction very well, as long as he first prints out MapQuest. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program, Rothman and Ice. We'll get with our friend Heather Dinich of ESPN. Maybe some tweaks to the CFP. We'll find out. That's at 1:30. I know you guys touched on this yesterday a little bit, but I got a chance to read about it, and the timing is off. The timing is weird. And I get it from on paper, you would, on the surface, you'd be like, you know, why was Jim Knowles, you know, at 5 in the morning, a couple days after winning the title, whatever, contacting James Franklin and this and that. But I think what I'm most interested in is, and by the way, I have no problem with him feeling a little bit like he was kind of drifting, you know, right before the championship. Now, I don't want his mind off of that, and he probably had to assume that, well, he wouldn't have assumed they were going to win the game, but we could based on them being big favorites. But it seems like a weird timing, like almost like you had to see that all the way through to get an offer. Like, what if they would have blown the Notre Dame game defensively? And they were up, 31-7 or whatever it was. What if they blow that game? I mean, it'd be one of the biggest collapses we'd ever experienced. Like, more unlikely, it would be unreal to go all that way and have that happen. And so, and you thank Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith for not even getting a chance to happen. But if he didn't get an offer before that game, and he was soured on it a little bit, am I going to be here? Like, and you know, it's personal for him. A lot of people say, why wasn't your mind on the championship game? And well, it's his life. And so he claimed, Maddie, that he hadn't had an offer, right? That Ohio State didn't offer him an extension after the championship, even after, not before, but after. And, but it is reported in this article that they did. That Ohio State actually did offer him an extension after the championship that would have made him the highest paid defensive coordinator at $2.75. Now, the offer he got and accepted from Penn State was $3.1, so he upped it a decent amount. And I guess he had some other offers from Oklahoma and Notre Dame. And then he flew to Oklahoma, it says here, to visit his fiancée and weigh his options, which he's more than entitled to do. And while he was undecided, and maybe that Ohio State had offered him this and like, hey, this is what you were clamoring for. We're offering it to you. Why would he be asked not to come to the celebration? What? Like, basically, if you're not going to sign it, don't come. If you're not staying, don't come.
My guess is that based off of his timing and asking for a new deal prior to the Natty and maybe some other stuff that was speculated over there, and that's all it was speculation that maybe Knowles and some members of the staff or a member of the staff that they weren't seeing eye to eye, that maybe the relationships or a relationship over there had been splintered along the way. If the combination of those two things happening, I could understand why maybe Coach Day, Ross Bjork, whoever made that decision to not invite him, if that is true, kind of tick them off a little bit. Because in the same way that I had an issue with the Nico story coming out, that he was asking for new money along their stretch run of the postseason, I have an issue with Jim Knowles putting himself first while the team is playing their most important game of the year outside of the Michigan game. I think that's just short-sighted, and I think it's a little selfish, if I'm being honest, if that is 100% accurate, because you got to know that there's a time for all of that. And right there during those weeks and days leading up to that game, it's not the time for that.
Well, it says here that he wanted an extension before the national title game.
That's what I'm saying. So
not before, like, the playoffs started, I guess.
Well,
I'm saying he didn't want one, but it sounds like in the story it says that he wanted the extension before the game against Notre Dame.
Well, to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's not the time.
But if he would have gotten that, he said, then I wouldn't have even looked at other things.
Which I get that, but what you just talked about, the timing of it is 100% wrong to me. Like, it's just not the time to do business at the time when we're all focusing in on doing everything we can to complete this mission. And so if that were the case, then I could understand why Coach Day, whoever, again, made that call, again, if true, allegedly, wanted to say, you know what, then we don't want him around. We don't want him around right now. I get it.
Mm-hmm. It says Knowles started reaching out to teams immediately after the Buckeyes won the title. James Franklin got a call at 5:06 a.m. from Knowles 2 days after the title victory while on a recruiting trip. Okay, he's working. He's, on a recruiting trip, and now he's like, I don't have a deal yet, and I think it's more than...
Doesn't that say a lot, though, that there's some miscommunication going on, bad communication going on, whether that's from Coach Day to Knowles or Knowles to Day or whatever it was? Like, that to me speaks volume.
Well, it sounds like he asked for one before. Obviously, they had bigger things to worry about, but no coach in any capacity wants to be a lame duck and go into something without security. So I could see if they're making this run, hey, I know that we're focused on this, but I also have to pay attention to my options. And so, but what I find very interesting is that can be very weird, that whole awkwardness. Even guys at very low levels that don't have guaranteed contracts. Anybody here at the radio station that would go inside 30 days of their contract hosting a show and not hear anything from management, you start getting a weird feeling. Like, wait a minute. And even though it's at such a lower level, even though you have a show to host today, it would occupy your mind. It's done it from television to radio. Trust me, if you had a contract here at the radio station that was going inside 30 days and you hadn't had an offer from management and you had to host with me today, I guarantee you'd be a little bit...
I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with not compartmentalizing that. That to me is where I think Buckeye fans and maybe some guys over there at the Woody had a little beef with him.
Sounded like he did, though. I mean, they coached the game and...
No, he ended up doing, but to me, you don't even approach that until we hit the finish line.
So if management said to you here, we'll worry about your contract after yours expires, How would that
I
make
also
you
think
feel?
it's a little different, too, if you were saying, like, we had this massive event for the station, right? And we were going to represent the station at some competition.
Radio,
and the fan,
let's take Radio Row.
Well, my example would be like if we had some competition, us as a station went to, New York, and we duked it out with a whole bunch of other stations, and we made it to the final. Correct. And we made it to the final. And you and I had to bring it home with 2 segments to pair with what Mike and T-Bone do or whatever, right? And then at that moment, prior to that segment or segments we had to do to win this title for the station, best station in the land or whatever, I go, hey, you know what, AR, I got to go to management right now and talk about my contract. To me, the timing is just off.
It would be off. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I would also be on your side.
You would
because
be on my side.
Because it would be your livelihood and your personal stuff, and while they put you in the awkward spot.
You would be on my side?
Not you putting them. Yes, but not putting them in the awkward spot.
I understand.
Think they put you in the awkward spot.
I understand you being on my side, but I would understand also if I pissed off management by doing that at the time. So maybe that's what happened over there.
Well, and like I said, the interesting part to me is that they did wind up giving him an offer. Mm-hmm. Then he had the right to take his whatever time to figure that out with his fiance. It doesn't sound like they rescinded the offer.
No.
They basically said, in my mind, are you with us or not? If you still need time to decide, there's probably no reason for you to be at the parade if you're only going to then leave or celebration. Now, I could make the case he's more than entitled to be there even if he does leave. Players leave. Players transfer. I mean, didn't he need to be here this year to be allowed to be a part of last year? And that's the only part of it that I find very intriguing. The stuff about it occupying his mind about whether he's going to be here or not, I think that's very human. And the fact that it happened that way doesn't shock me. The one in the article where it says Ohio State asked him not to come to the celebration in the shoe on January 26th while he was still undecided.
And again, that's his side of the story.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
And in this story that Heather Dinich wrote, who we'll talk to at the bottom of the hour, she did say ESPN, they reached out to Coach Day, they reached out to Ross Bjork, and those guys declined to comment. And so that's just one side of the story. Maybe they did say come, and he said, no, I'm good. Or maybe it was what Jim is saying. I don't know.
A lot of times this can be leveraging also, that once you get an offer, you start weighing it against other offers, and maybe there was some active negotiation going on with, is this your last and final, and there's stuff with things that happen, and as long as we're apart, let's stay apart until we can come together.
And you let him tell it, it's 2 things that
not everybody needs to be at a event.
I hear you.
Not everybody's invited to an event.
Correct. And you let Knowles tell it, AR, and it's 2 things that really push this over the top for him. It's the 3.1, as you mentioned, which makes him now the highest defensive coordinator in the sport, and also his ties to Pennsylvania and growing up with some love for that program. And so if that's his truth, then so be it. I don't think we'll ever get the real as to what happened and why that relationship splintered, maybe outside of the financial stuff. But we'll talk to Heather about it at the bottom of the hour.
All right, ins and outs up next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with a thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
The Buckeye Show.
Hi, it's Brandon Beam here. Talk Buckeyes with me starting Monday on The Buckeye Show. Can the Buckeyes repeat? Who's going to be the starting quarterback this fall? Find out on The Buckeye Show with me, Brandon Beam, weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're looking at a mix of sun and clouds this afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-70s will be dropping back to the 50s tonight as clouds increase. Scattered showers look likely throughout the day on Thursday. Those will end Thursday night. We'll be back to dry weather but cooler for the weekend and plenty of sunshine for your Mother's Day. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
Indeed. By the way, you guys didn't let me know whether Joe Burrow went backless suit again, or he was at the Met Gala.
The Met Gala?
Now, that wasn't like some Paris.
Oh, man. We talked about that yesterday.
Fashion show.
I believe that happens every year in New York. I
That's
believe. Right. But no, it was just
the Met.
Kind of a normal suit that he had going on.
Okay.
This weekend. Yeah, it was this weekend. Russell Wilson was there with Sierra. I think Stephon Diggs was there. So, yeah, it was a who's who event, as it always is. But, yeah, Burrow was looking clean. Joe Shiesty looking the part. He's into fashion. He don't shy away from that. You remember the suit he wore to the Super Bowl? With the hat, little top hat going? He's in his bag when it comes to the fashion.
Kind of like White Stripes, the jungle suit, or whatever he was wearing.
I don't remember exactly what color it was, but I thought the fit was on point when he was walking into the building that day.
Did you want to give him his flowers, Matty?
I always want to give him his flowers. Okay. It's Joe Burrow. You kidding me?
He really is.
How can you not give him his flowers? One of the best to do it right now.
Is he?
Oh,
Talk to Chris Canty.
You did?
We did. We should probably unearth that interview. at some point.
We had to ask him about that because he's thrown out some spicy takes about Joe Burrow. He doesn't say he's not going down the road of he's not very good. He just thinks that he receives maybe a little too much praise. Yeah. And he's in a category of quarterbacks right now that have done more, whether it's individually or their teams have had more success with them under center. That's his thing.
Supposedly the girl that was with him came out of
down in Miami?
Down in Miami at the F1 race is now goes completely quiet on whether she's actually dating him now.
Well, when you make a call from a man's house when it's getting broken into and you're still around months later, that tells me all I need to know. And I'm happy for him. I hope they're living a good life.
I don't know. She's mum, though, on the dating rumors.
Keeping it hush-hush?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see.
The mystery is deepening, Maddie.
How about the few days Joe Burrow's had? You go from Miami down there to the Met Gala in New York. That's how you're doing all season. When you're making $55 million a year, he's spending it.
What did I redo? What did I?
$3 million a Sunday.
$3 million a Sunday and change.
$3 million a Sunday.
You're not even playing half the time.
Good living if you can get it.
All right, big man.
First things first, I got to issue a warning.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I was eating during the last segment.
I saw you eating.
We all know what that means.
Had a little sub going over there. He had to fuel up.
What does it mean?
It means that if I start coughing mid-sentence...
You get a sub attack like I get almond attacks?
I might have done it to myself. So if my communication is not crystal clear, it's because I was eating the last segment, so I might burst into a cough attack.
The guy's got to fuel up. You know how you see guys in the middle of a game eating a banana or chewy bar, you know? He just decides to take it to a whole nother level and eat subs.
Novak Djokovic eats dates. That's what he eats.
Does he really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Some people like to eat. A.J. Brown likes to read books during games.
Those guys aren't on the radio at the time, though.
That's right. I had a little timeout. I dedicated a timeout to myself last night.
You know what it does, though? It tells me you had some confidence in the segment that we were providing.
Yeah.
That you felt you could take an in-game timeout.
It's either that or we bore him. Or we bore him that much. Where he was like, I'm just going to eat.
I feel like he was kind of cherry-picking, like a game at the Y, and you don't come back to play D because you know it's coming back. Now you got the lights flickering on us.
These lights flickering. My communication may not be clear for multiple reasons. I'm playing through the elements right now as far as I'm concerned. All right, in or out. We'll start with a little bit of breaking news here. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Shams is reporting that Steph Curry is out for Game 2, likely to miss a week. So that would have him out, if you just do the math, Games 2, 3, 4. He only played 13 minutes in Game 1, and the Warriors still won that game. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was on the road.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Okay.
Listen, it was Game 1. All favorites at home in Game 1.
There you go.
Thrashed.
Are you in or out on the Warriors winning this series, even though Steph is likely to miss the next 3 games?
I'm out because obviously the injury is the headliner, but on the other side of this series, too, is Minnesota's ice cold right now, shooting from 3, mainly Anthony Edwards. And I don't think that's going to last very long. Minnesota's a seasoned team, made a deep playoff run last year. They have a superstar who is on the rise. So it would have been an awesome series if Steph was in the mix. I just don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to be that aircraft carrier on offense consistently over the next few games. I think Minnesota's going to wake up, so I'm out.
I'm with Maddie on this. I think the week off made them rusty. They hadn't played. You can't prove that, Rusty. I think they were. I think all I have to do is look at their lack of threes and how brick city they were. Yeah. And I'm going to say that, yes, it's weird to win a playoff game without him, but I'm also going to lean into what Maddie said, that Minnesota hadn't played nearly a week. They'll get better. And then on the opposite side of this, Golden State hasn't really had to win a lot in the playoffs ever without him. This is going to be very difficult for them. I think it's going to be new. They were riding kind of a little bit of adrenaline. And these home teams in Game 1, that was the time to get them, and they've been got. So how this game plan will change with Jimmy and Buddy Hield, I'm still with Maddie. They're in a weird spot. I'm not going to deny that. But without Steph, they haven't had to do this at all.
Just to highlight how bad Minnesota was from 3 last night.
Yeah, tell them.
5 of 29, 17% from the flow.
I think it might even sound worse for me to say they were 1 for their first 20.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah.
5 of 29, that's pretty good compared to the 7 of 47 that they put up against the Lakers and still won that game.
That or how bad was
the Celtics?
Oh my gosh.
Put up 60.
Do anything else.
Missoula's got to do something, bro.
Anything else at that point. You miss 40-plus threes in a game.
Say keep shooting.
Come on, man. With the talent that they got, that would drive me nuts if I were a Celtic fan.
Coach them up.
The artist formerly known as the Arizona Coyotes, currently known as the Utah Hockey Club, they had 3 finalists. They had to axe the idea of the Yetis, or I think it was just Yeti singular.
Yeti, yeah.
Because I think they had trouble with the trademark with Yeti Cooler. And so the final 3 were just keeping it as Utah Hockey Club, or they could go with Utah Outlaws, and they chose the Utah Mammoth. Are you in or out on the selection of the Utah Mammoth? They got a cool logo.
I'm in on it because it's new, it's different. They can go with the old tusk up kind of thing. I kind of like it. I think it's a cool logo, like you said, and it's a woolly mammoth, which is not a bad thing to bring back. So, kind of fits the geography. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think you had to get away from the Utah Hockey Club.
Hey, or am I looking at this right, that the mammoth, the top of it are like mountains?
Yes.
Yeah,
kind of looking at the head is the mountains.
Yeah. I think they did well. I think they did well with that. You know, I was bodying them out of the gate because the Utah Hockey Club logo at the time looked like a coaster. And I'm like, the NHL to me has the best logos. I love them.
Hockey though, does a lot of the circle as the practice stuff. And
it's weak, though. Give me something better than that.
I'm with you.
But the Mammoth, they did their thing with this, with the mountains up top. Oh, man, it's a good look.
Are you in or out on labeling Justin Fields a bust?
I'm out because I think after this year, if it does not work as a starter, I think it would be fair to throw that out there because I don't know if after this season, if the Jets don't say, hey, this is our guy for the foreseeable future, that he's going to get another opportunity. I think this may be his last opportunity for a while. Like, he can go on and do the Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith thing in time, but I think that buzzword will pop up. For some people, they're probably already there. But for me, I'm going to give him one last crack at being a full-time starter before I go down that road.
Close. We're getting there. Absolutely. He's been given opportunities. No team wanted to trade more than a 6th rounder for him. The Steelers weren't ready to make him their guy over Russ, and he was winning, so they knew something. And so I'm not saying it just because they didn't do it makes him a bust. I'm just saying he's had opportunities. Now, you can give him a little bit of pass for the Bears because of the lack of stuff he had around him. He's a great athlete. I think he still has ability. I guess you'd have to define bust for me specifically, because if you're saying not being a starter makes him a bust, then I guess he's a bust. But if he hangs in the league as an athletic backup, does that make him a bust in your mind? As a guy who was pretty heralded coming out of Ohio State and Georgia and was the 11th pick overall, I guess. But we've seen guys that have been first-round draft picks that have not become starters. So it really does come down to your definition of bust.
AR, this one's just for you. Are you in or out on the idea that celebrities would still attend F1 races if they weren't in cool cities like Miami and Las Vegas and instead were in cities such as St. Louis, Missouri, or we can go on the other side and go to Kansas City, Missouri?
Local celebrities would attend. You would not get in droves the models and the actors and that kind. You would not see. No, it's the location.
No doubt. No doubt. You know what you should see, fellas, is the Columbus Men's Clinic if you're not feeling well, because if you've been waiting to treat your low T or ED, don't wait any longer. Get on over to the CMC. It's time to get in there and move forward with your gym goals, your career, your sex life, and a lot more. What they really do is specialize in guys who are doubting themselves, who think they're out of luck, regain that joy that they can be successful beyond the bedroom, beyond the gym, just in life in general. So seriously, go see the team that for 10 years, guys, has been #1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it. Do it right now. Get on in there. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400. Or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. That's columbusmensclinic.com.
She did a very candid interview with Jim Knowles about his move from Ohio State to Penn State. She is Heather Dinich from ESPN. She will join us in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Get Eco.
ECO. Aaron, I love that we fix ACs for free.
I don't think we do that, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. Stay with me, Aaron. I'm going to explain to you how it works.
You're going to explain to me how my own invention works?
Get Eco.
ECO. Step 1. Some other HVAC company tells a customer that they need a whole new system.
Yes.
And then they call us.
They can always call us, Jerry.
Get Eco.
ECO. And then we repair their system for free.
No, then they pay us.
But we give the money back, right?
We give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old system when they finally do need a new one.
Up to $1,500, right?
Right.
Aaron, we're fixing HVAC systems for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
We extend the life of their system.
That's right.
Those extra years are free. On me.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco. Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
Certainly not now that we've added Heather Dinich, senior writer at ESPN, covering the college football playoff and a lot more. And she's with us now on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Heather, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're doing well. We're doing well. Let me ask you this. Your interpretation of when Jim Knowles was thinking about Ohio State's offer, but not being technically invited to the celebration. What was your interpretation of that?
Well, Knowles told me that he didn't want to make a decision until after the parade. James Franklin also told me that that's what Jim Knowles had told him. And then when Ryan Day asked him not to go to the parade, he said he respected that, but that's when it kind of felt like it got awkward for him. And he said that no one ever told him that his contract wasn't going to be extended. No one ever told him that they didn't want him back. It just kind of got awkward was the word that he used. You just get that feeling. And at that point, then that's when he starts to consider his options. And, you know, it certainly wasn't just all about the money, though $3.1 million is a lot of reasons to leave. But remember, he's also from Pennsylvania. He's a Philly guy. He grew up watching Penn State. He's known James Franklin. So all of these pieces to the puzzle kind of fit together. And then when you have the don't go to the parade, it's sort of like, well, I guess the writing's on the wall here.
So from your understanding, you don't believe that he was weighing an offer from somebody else against Ohio State's at the time?
Well, he was weighing Penn State's. I'm not sure if he had an offer in hand from Notre Dame and Oklahoma or where those conversations were at the time. I'm not clear on that, but he was definitely considering what to do. That's my understanding of the timeline.
Okay. Heather, I want to ask you, and I don't know if you talked to Jim specifically about this, about his relationship with Coach Day and other members of the staff, because, you know, there's always just rumors and speculation out there, and sometimes you hear some things, you don't know if it's true or not. But, Jim, did you get anything from him when it came down to that, his relationship with Coach Day and maybe some other members of the staff?
No, because I wanted to make it clear, and I went back and asked him to be sure that the environment at Ohio State, the expectations, the tough season, he said twice finger pointing. He told me at the national championship, that was the phrase that he used at media days at the national title game, and then again in his office last spring. That's not why he left. And I thought that was interesting because you do hear just how difficult that season was. Was there friction on the staff and all of those things? And he made it clear, because I went back to make sure I had the context right for the story, that it boiled down to the timing of the contract. And all of those other things at Ohio State are part of the badge of honor in terms of the expectations and just how difficult a season can be. But he didn't say specifically that, there was friction on the staff and there were problems or anything like that.
But he intimated to you that he felt that what was bothering him at the time was the timing of that Ohio State's in a playoff run. He doesn't technically know his future at Ohio State and wanted that buttoned up before the title game against Notre Dame?
Yeah, because the same thing happened, he said, at Oklahoma State. And he said his agent had told him about this. Look, you got the number one defense in the country, and if this doesn't get buttoned up, there's going to be other offers, other opportunities, and that's what happens, and that's what did happen. And he said twice his agent had predicted that this type of scenario was going to unfold, so he wanted to get it done before the national championship, tied up and sealed and delivered so that no one had to worry about it afterwards. But that's how it happened. And I asked Athletic Director Ross Bjork about it, and he declined comment on it. Ryan Day also declined comment. And I asked Jim, why didn't Ohio State do it beforehand? And he said he didn't know.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your work during that. I mean, that definitely opened up a lot of eyes and was the kind of the talk of the college football world yesterday. So congrats to you on that piece, Heather. We want to zoom out quickly and ask you about just what you think is next when it comes to the college football playoff and changes that could be on the way, right? We have one version of the 12-team playoff, and here in Columbus, it obviously worked out well for Ohio State. But from the people that you talk to that are in the know with this, what are some changes that could be coming our way when it comes to the CFP?
Well, they're still considering the possibility of a straight seeding format. And by that, I mean, yes, the 5 highest ranked conference champions will still get in, but the top 4 seeds would go to the committee's top 4 teams. So if you have Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and hey, let's throw Indiana in there as the selection committee's top 4 teams, they would be your top 4 seeds with those first round buys in a straight seeding format. Whereas now those top 4 seeds are only rewarded to conference champions. That would make a difference for Notre Dame if they would change it, because then Notre Dame could get a top 4 seed, which it obviously can't now as an independent. But that's the only major change college football fans would really care about for this fall. It has to be unanimous amongst the FBS commissioners and Notre Dame to vote for that. Still don't know if they will. But the bigger changes could be coming in 2026 and beyond, where they're considering format changes, number of teams, automatic qualifiers, and all of that. They have to determine all of that by December 1st.
You know, and the other part about that, maybe the deeper layer to it, Heather, as we talk with Heather Dinich, ESPN senior writer, reporter for College Football Playoff, is that when you think about what would be the motivation, is it because of the way the bracket's set up for Oregon last year as number 1 facing an Ohio State? Or is it more of they have to continue to maybe give these so-called underdogs a leg up in the bracket because they know they won't be able to compete with the big boys in the NIL world?
When you're talking about the motivation to change the seeding?
Yeah, because because I agree with you. When we came off of that, and listen, we had all reason to believe that, hey, it worked out great for Ohio State. They got motivated. They got some rhythm going before Oregon. Their confidence was sky high. Yet Oregon had to face a team like that, and people thought, okay, well, they got kind of messed with the bracket having to face Ohio State. And yet none of these Cinderellas really sniffed the title, even though they gave them a leg up in the bracket. So I'm just wondering if they tweak it, is it more because, hey, we play these games for a reason. Let's seed them as we rank them. Or is it more a motivation that they don't want the bracket to be kind of back-weighted like happened this year, where you have so much talent with Ohio State and here's your number 1 overall seed in Oregon having to face them in their first game.
Right. Well, part of it is so that you get the 4 best teams, so that the committee's job remains relevant, because the committee's ranking the teams. But if their top 4 teams aren't being rewarded, then it's sort of like, well, what are we doing here when you're giving Boise State and Arizona State, who aren't in the committee's top 4, with that reward for a first-round bye? Now, it makes being a conference champion immensely important, right? Because it's an added bonus for that, which I thought was really significant. But even in a new system and in a straight seeding system, winning a conference championship would still matter, because that guarantees you a spot in the college football playoff. So it's a healthy balance.
Yeah, one of the biggest stories this offseason was the Nico Yamaleava story and him going from Tennessee to UCLA, and that seemed to be rooted in NIL. A situation down there in Knoxville. Heather, what's the chatter around the sport right now when it comes to NIL and maybe ways to clean this up?
Well, it starts with the transfer portal window, and I talked to Ross Bjork about that. He would go on the record about that. The last time I saw him, he was in Dallas for CFP spring meetings, and we talked about how there's a lot of support for one transfer portal window. And going back to Penn State, James Franklin talked about this and the horrible situation his backup quarterback, Bo Pribula, was in around the time of the college football playoff. So Bjork said that ideally maybe one 10-day transfer window in May for football, and then the spring sports might have another one in June. But clearly the ideal situation would be to narrow that down to one to help coaches manage their roster. But all of these things have to happen after this NCAA House settlement, as in all of these things that we're talking about, because the FBS commissioners, particularly the Power 4 commissioners, they've got to get this wrapped up before they can make any other major decisions in college athletics. But the college football calendar is at the top of the list.
We appreciate your time and your work. Heather Dinich with us, senior writer, ESPN. We will reach out again soon, Heather. Thank you very much.
Sounds great. Thanks so much.
Thanks. She was on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I don't think there's any real urgency with the way it ended, but there's definitely some tweaks that have to happen. You have to, I believe, give the deserving teams, as the committee deems them, the leg up.
I 100%
I don't think you can
you.
slant it. They did it this way, and I was okay with seeing it out in the first year, and there was no real damage because none of those Cinderellas really took somebody out on any given night. Right. But I just feel like it back-weighted it.
I'm with you.
And I'm not even here to tell you that, hey, Oregon, you want to win the title, you probably have to go through Ohio State again. Sorry, that's the way it goes. You would have had to meet them anyway sometime. Maybe it would have been in the quarters. Maybe it would have been in the championship. I don't know. But you had to have beaten them at some point. So no one's crying over it. Just like if you're going to try to expand this thing and keep it weighted properly, it's probably the way to go. All right, we'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin next. And Ohio State gains here in basketball. But the most amazing part about it is there's one team that has no players left from last season. None. Maybe he's the last. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to launch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes. This week, we salute U.S. Navy veteran Ronald Jordan. For over 25 years, Ronald has served our country and community, flying critical missions, protecting top officials, and keeping our streets safe as a Springfield police officer and homicide detective. With retirement around the corner, he's looking forward to traveling with his wife. Thank you, Ronald, for a lifetime of service.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Hey, it's Anthony for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
This Mother's Day, be direct. Tell Mom she shines without saying a word. At Diamonds Direct, we've curated a meaningful collection of timeless gifts for every budget, from birthstone rings and stackables to diamond pendants, pearls, and stunning earrings. So here's to Mom for her love, her strength, and always putting others first. This year, she deserves a gift that lasts a lifetime, and that's our specialty. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Join me and Tito on Monday for the new Morning Juice. Where can you find it? Live on the Fan's YouTube channel and the Fan app each morning at 6, or ask your smart speaker to stream us. Plus, you can watch the show on the 10 TV Plus app at 10 a.m. and on demand.
This PGA Tour moment is brought to you by True Green.
At the 1984 PGA Championship, at age 44 with an ailing back, Lee Trevino defied the rules of age and the ability to practice. Following doctor's orders, Trevino was limited to 30 to 45-minute warm-up before each round, but rallied on the back nine to win his 6th major championship. In the victory, he became the first player to win the PGA Championship with 4 rounds under 70.
True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. And before we get to the details of this former Baylor center, Josh Ojanwanu?
I think you got that.
Ojanwanu?
Jonwanu?
I'll put the emphasis on Ojanwanu.
Okay.
Put it on the J.
Yeah, we got work to do with this. We got work to do.
Josh Ojanwanu. We'll kind of leave it there for a little bit.
Josh O.
That's right.
Yeah,
I like that. That's very proud of you on that one.
What we got
Very
right
proud of you. So the front court gets some beef, but there's some details here that don't make you feel too comfortable. And one is that the main one, first of all, he's a big kid, 6'10", 230, former top 100 recruit. Was he a starter for Baylor last season? I believe he was. 7.4, 6.4 rebounds. But, and this is the big one, suffered a major setback and missed a big part of the season because he's going to be rehabbing a knee.
Don't like hearing that, AR.
With a season-ending knee injury this last February. Am I making the right assumption? It was an ACL?
That's out there. Yeah, that's out there. I think it's fair to do that. So this may turn into, maybe you see him at the back end of this year, or maybe we don't see him at all, and it's a whole nother year, and you get a little red shirt action going on. It's, you've got now two guys. There are a few guys now that have come in the portal, but specifically with this new one here, I think for me personally, I'm in complete wait-and-see mode. I was one of those people last year, looked at Aaron Bradshaw, looked at Sean Stewart, the talent that they had, but also the programs that they came from, and said, okay, they really got something. That didn't work out. You look at Sean Stewart, you look at Aaron Bradshaw, those guys were not consistent at all. They didn't provide hardly any offensive punch. We were talking about all year, just there's really no bite, no presence from that center position, from the bigs. And so hopefully, look, if he does have the ability to play this year, great. But more importantly, if he does go out there, just hopefully the productivity comes along with it. Because, look, Devin Royal's going to be a good player. Bruce Thornton, you know what you're getting from him. John Mobley, I believe, will be more consistent with his offensive output. He was a true freshman last year, playing in the Big Ten, was asked to do a lot, especially when Michi left. So I think he will be more comfortable in year two. So you have a bit of a core there that I think you can like. But the Gabe Cupps of the world that you bring in from Indiana, Brandon Noel that you bring in from Wright State, and now this guy, like, they're all question marks. And so I don't know if I'm going to give this program anything right now as far as vote of confidence until I actually see them play at a high level of consistency. But these are the swings that you have to make if you are Diebler, if you're any coach, and hoping that you bring this guy into your system, into your program, that it clicks. So the injury part is a massive question mark, but maybe they have some intel when it comes to the medicals that he will be available sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, he could create a little bit of a twin tower situation and see if they can recreate a little better version of Bradshaw and Sean Stewart. But we'll find out. You hear that where a guy had a season-ending knee injury and you're bringing him in. Yeah. Maybe you've got him at a discount. I don't know. This is kind of where we are. But he has time. It is only May. So June, July, August, September, October. So it's 6 months until November. We'll be rehabbing it. But the kind of the interesting part to me is Baylor basketball. It hasn't been that long, Maddie. I mean, they
were in the mix. They are.
Baylor men's basketball team from last year.
Didn't they win a championship?
That's why it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
21.
So NIL deals, transfer portal. If you don't think college sports is semi-busted here, here's your example. The Bears athletic department, the team is literally rebuilding the entire program this offseason one by one. Where did this team go? 9 players entered the portal. 4 used up their eligibility, and 1 went pro. You know what the result of that is? Everybody gone.
The whole squad?
From last year.
That's what you're telling me?
The entire team picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All have red X's over them.
They're all fading away like that picture in Back to the Future.
Yes.
There we go. I needed a movie reference for you and I to click.
Very good.
I thought you were going to go with the Avengers scene where they're fading away, where Thanos snaps the finger and they all fade away.
I heard Endgame was like 3 hours, so I didn't watch it.
Oh, wait a minute. Time out.
This team won a championship in 2021.
Hold on, AR. You're not going length of the movie on me for that classic Marvel movie, are you?
I did it for The Irishman, too. I didn't watch that movie because everyone was talking about, that movie's 3 hours.
No, you have to watch Endgame. You watched Infinity War?
I think I have, actually.
Okay. Well, please watch Endgame.
No, I watched Civil War.
Oh, no. You haven't seen Infinity War or Endgame?
Which one's the one where Iron Man and Captain America are fighting at the end?
That's Civil War.
I saw that one. I liked it a lot.
You're missing the best 2 Marvel movies to me that are ever made. Lock in.
All right, I got to go in order.
Infinity War and Endgame. Sorry, AR. I just had to get on.
Hey, listen, that's important stuff.
It really is.
Pretty Marvel mediocre photographic fakery. They cut off your brother's hair. This team won a championship in 2021. There's nobody left.
That is wild. That is absolutely insane.
This is a great response tweet. Player 1, I love these guys. They're like brothers. Player 2, I'd go to war for these guys. They do the same for me.
Scott Drew still there?
Player 3.
What's he up to?
That other school offered me 50% more NIL.
Wait, job-wise.
Scott Drew's okay, right?
I think so. Is his job okay?
after this. He
you can't drop a what's he up to
seriously
when it comes to a job.
Scott Drew?
He's
good, right?
What's his job
fine.
up to?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's his career up to? His brother was the Valpo guy.
Is that your little brother?
Yes.
Good-looking kid.
I think so. Yes.
Scott Drew, maybe coaching at Grand Canyon.
So there's no walk-ons, no nothing.
The other school offered me 50% more NIL. Player one, if you can get that, I can double mine. Rest of the team. We're going to find new brothers and new battles.
About to have some open gym, open enrollment tryouts for any students in Waco.
You're a Hooper TLC. Get on the squad, man.
Hey,
he's too busy trying to break up celebrity marriages.
DeVere told me to be ready in case he ever needs a substitution. Now, if my brother played D2.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Oh, I need to get ready. I can't.
Right,
I told DeVere, I said, I can't move my feet laterally, so if I'm guarding someone top of the key, I'm calling for help before he even dribbles.
Josh Ojanwanu.
We'll get you into 2-3.
Ojanwanu.
Love it.
I'm not touching this right now.
Ojanwanu.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to keep
I got some work to do on that.
Keep the emphasis.
And who's the offensive tackle who Ohio State got?
You tell me.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't have that down either just yet.
The Rice guy?
Yeah, from Rice. Yep, you got that right.
Rice guy.
I don't have it down yet.
We're in a similar situation with his last name.
It just takes time, like the Uyungleleles, Tungavailoa. You just got to say it time and time
we got to know the pronunciation before we can try to
That's
say it.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know. So I give you credit for going on that road, for touching it right now, because we don't know exactly how to say it.
And give me a name like Hero Canoe. I can do that.
I can handle that.
But I don't need to say it anymore because he's a Texas.
We're coming back. Top of the hour. Sports Center update. And did a certain team just jump into the top tier of weaponry in the NFL? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes, let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. May is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you're going to be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. Beat the heat and keep the AC in your home with Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you'll get 60% off and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. That's a whole lot of savings and a super smart investment, especially when prices are rising. So how exactly does Window Nation keep the prices affordable? Well, they work directly with top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon, so don't miss your chance to get 60% off, plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows. And you pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy a 4.00% APY intro rate until April 2026, 6 times the national average. Maintain easy access to your funds and secure financial stability. Don't miss out. Offer expires July 31st, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average. Federally insured by NCUA.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a coach at Awaken 180 Weight Loss. One of my most successful clients, not only in weight loss, but in attitude, came to us with stern doctor's orders that if he didn't do something, he would be dead within 5 years. He did not initially even want to have the conversation, but he signed up for the program. By the second week on the program, he was thanking me, thanking the program. He could not believe how much better he felt. Within 8 weeks, he was down 55 pounds. He was a true transformation of body, but definitely of mind. And of course, he feels amazing.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with a reminder that losing weight with Awaken 180 isn't about the number on the scale. It's about how that number spearheads endless successes. Bring your goals to Awaken 180, then celebrate when you check off each and every one of them. Call 844-346-1800 or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, you're the Carfax guy.
The Carfax from Carfax.
Wow.
And you, sir, work at Tire Discounters.
I sure do.
The Carfax top-rated service center.
Oh, right. You know, a lot of that's because of our services. But people think we're just about tires.
Maybe it's your name.
Yeah?
Tire Discounters. And your jingle.
Oh, you like it?
I think it needs something.
Yeah? Like what?
Hit it. Plus brakes, oil changes, shocks, and struts, and more. Now that speaks to me.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York. Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The Ohio State basketball team has added another center in the transfer portal. 6'10", 230-pound senior Josh Ojonwuna has committed to the Buckeyes. Ojonwuna averaged 7.4 points and 6.4 rebounds a game before a knee injury cut his season short for Baylor in February. The Guardians taking on the Washington Nationals right now in the nation's capital. The Guardians lead 8-3. They're in the bottom of the sixth. The Columbus Clippers are over in Indianapolis taking on the Indians. That one's in the top of the second. They are still scoreless. The Reds look to snap a 4-game losing streak in Atlanta tonight. They take on the Braves at 7:15. You can hear that on ESPN Columbus at 6:45. RCD RV's open house is going on right now through this Saturday. They have over 650 RVs in stock. Visit them, Delaware, Heath, and Pataskala.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
All right, back at it. Final hour of the program will include the one and only Bobby Carpenter at 2:30. Hey, remind me to ask him what I was thinking about the other day.
This just crossed my mind, and I was going to have you remind me. What were we talking about this week?
I'll tell you what I was talking about. We were talking about teams that go to great lengths to make sure that it came off the Ohio State-Michigan sign-stealing thing. And I told you that Bobby used to tell me a story that when they were playing the Patriots, that I don't know who or I can't remember what team, that they would make sure.
That would check out if it were the Patriots.
That they made sure that they either took everything to the shredder or didn't leave anything behind in the hotel, and were very careful with maid service and things that, of
course,
where tendencies could be stolen.
Oh, yeah. Old Bill was sniffing around, doing some funky stuff. They've always been doing nefarious things. New England.
Very possible.
All right, so now all three of us have been reminded. We all have to remember,
which means
maybe
all
a look
three.
at it. Hey, anybody listening out there, tweet me if I forget, because I want to hear that story again.
YouTube chat us.
So Bobby will be on at 2:30 today.
And we have to ask him about Belichick and his girl, too. Like, I just need to hear Bobby's take.
Have we not asked him about that already?
I don't.
Along the way?
I don't
think clearly we didn't ask him about the CBS interview.
Yeah, that happened post our hit with Bobby last week. So I'm sure he'll have a.
I mean, Bobby probably couldn't have sensed that Billy was a draft best athlete on the board. Because this isn't for fit or need. Well, maybe it's need. But it's.
Some may argue
certainly
fit
not fit. It's not. Well, not with that age gap.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
Oh, man.
He really was.
Wasn't Bobby like a camp body for the Patriots at some point in time in an off season?
Yes.
Bobby was on Hard Knocks.
He was?
Who's on Hard Knocks this year? I think he was.
I didn't grow up with HBO, so that's not me being a bad coworker.
I didn't grow up with HBO. Well, you lived a very tough life.
I know. DirecTV, it was. That's all it was.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It's hard for everybody now because everything's everywhere.
It
It's
really
not at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you look at him as a camp body. I don't know if that was kind of not a great compliment. I think he was a free agent. They brought him in.
There's no good way to say he got cut before the season started.
Camp body, though, is implying that their only interest is using him up against the other guys and then discarded.
I didn't mean it like that.
I know you didn't. I'm giving you a little crap today. All right. I'll put you to work. Not only do you have to remind me, TLC, tomorrow we do have a Gold Jacket interview.
Let's go.
You tried to guess who it was. I said you'd never guess. But then you kind of went down a weird road that you may have some telepathy going. Now, you guessed Morton Anderson, and I told you we had Morton Anderson on like a month ago. He was incredible.
I'm a bad coworker again for not knowing this.
So if I give you the position, will you promise not to look up
Yeah. I will fire one guess off the top of my head.
Because I think you'll get. Here's the problem. If I give you the position, I think you'll get it, even though I don't think you know this guy, if that makes any sense.
Okay. I get one guess, just impulse.
Right now, without even knowing the position?
No, you have to tell me the position. I give you one guess, and then if I get it right, if I get it wrong, you'd have to tell me.
Maddie, what do I have to give him if he gets it right?
What do you have to give?
Because I think that'd be
TLC?
pretty. And by the way, gold star for him today. He unearthed the Tress stuff that CB said was gone. He did it in 10 minutes.
Ice, good to see you.
Exactly. I mean, that's incredible. So clearly CB just told us this can't be retrieved.
He just didn't want to do it.
That's it.
He just didn't want to do it.
He just knew the work that probably entailed.
Yes, exactly.
And he
what
knew we
happened.
wouldn't have the technological knowledge to know that it couldn't be.
He left us in the dark.
So I do owe you something. If you get this right, I'll get you something even better.
What are those low protein milk shakes you drink, or is it?
Core Powers.
He likes those Core Powers. So maybe you pick him up a couple Core Powers.
What flavor? Flav.
Chocolate or vanilla, either or.
Flavor.
Sexual chocolate.
That commercial's annoying as hell.
Randy Watson. What commercial?
Wait a minute. What's the
Flavor Flav? Is he in a commercial? He's in
I don't know what he's for.
Oh, I
maybe
haven't
he's
seen
with
this yet.
Bill and Jordan and Dunkin' Donuts.
Somebody did send me a screenshot of that.
Do they have a speaking role in that?
I don't know, but they are in the commercial.
Flavor Flav pops up every. I'm sorry, I'm saying Flavor. That's not his name. Flava Flav. He pops up once every 5 years, just doing who knows what.
Did you guys ever watch his
commercial.
dating show?
No,
It used to be on VH1.
Yeah, with
what was the name of that show?
Wasn't he with Stallone's former?
Oh no, I don't know about this. I think it was called Flavor of Love. It came out on VH1.
Bridget Nielsen. Does that sound familiar with him?
Oh, blonde hair?
Yes.
Short blonde hair?
From Beverly Hills Cop and
I want to say that
Cobra and all that.
I want to say that
Mark Gastineau?
Those two had their own special.
That's
after
what
Flavor
I'm
of
thinking
Love.
of.
Yeah, but I think Flavor of Love came first.
Did Bridget Nielsen have a relationship with Flavor Flav?
I think it's Flavor.
No, I don't think it is.
No, it's Flavor.
I wish he would just say his name.
It's Flavor.
I don't think he
Flav.
spells it Flavor Flav.
No? Flavor Flav?
Flavor Flav.
Oh, that's a disappointment. I want it to be
now,
Flavor
I'm sure
Flav.
people, when they refer to him or refers to himself.
Flavor Flav.
I don't. You guys can
I'm
look.
never going to get that out of my head.
Anyway.
So Flavor Flav and Bridget Nielsen starred together in the VH1 reality show Strange Love, which aired in 2005. They were an item.
How tall is he?
That's a good question. Let me see if I can get that for you.
Because she's
she's tall.
2 or 6'1".
I've got 5'7". Yeah.
Okay. So she can post him up. what you're saying. Take him down into the low block.
A couple different ways.
66 years old.
All right, here's your hint.
All right, one guess.
If you get this, well, I already owe you one power core. Okay.
What do you do to earn
one
that?
bottle, or they sell them in 6-packs, or what?
Core power. This isn't 2 lies and a truth.
Sorry. Power.
Core
right.
power.
All right. So I already owe you one power core power. Do they sell them in 6-packs?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I've only bought them individually.
You get one for unearthing the Tress.
There we go.
Of whatever flavor you want. You said sexual chocolate or vanilla. My choice. Dealer's choice.
Ebony or ivory. I don't care.
Do you get that sexual chocolate reference that he's talking about? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Okay. Have you seen Coming to America?
No. There we go again.
All right. So if you get this, I'll get you a carrying case of it. Whatever that is. 6, 8, whatever.
Oh.
Okay. You were right in thinking it's obscure. So he was a kicker.
George,
and it wasn't Morton Anderson.
George Blanda.
No.
Wasn't
Unless
he
you
also
want
the
to
kicker?
unearth him along with what you did with Tress.
What's George up to?
What's he up to?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
No.
Wasn't he also the kicker for his team, though?
What is this, The Sixth Sense? I see dead people?
That movie,
not tomorrow.
That movie did it for me.
No, I'm pretty sure that George is not with us.
Okay.
You want to go for another guess? There aren't that many kickers in the Hall of Fame.
I have a relative who was banned from the Hall of Fame for stealing a George Blanda jersey right off of the display like 40 years ago.
Did he also steal OJ's bust? Because I was up there in the 90s trying to find that damn thing. I was dispatched up there from Channel 6. Hey, OJ's bust was just stolen from Canton. Go find it. Like, what are you talking about? You guys don't know the story?
No.
After the OJ thing, his bust was literally stolen, bowling ball bagged out of there, and found on a country road with a dent in the forehead. And I had to go up there and scour Canton, asking people if they've seen this bust.
That was your assignment, was go figure out who did it?
Talk to the people at the Hall of Fame. How could this happen? What was your security like? Talk to the curator. Yes.
Okay, so why? Okay, well,
somebody stole it, and then
somebody
the
that
Heat
makes sense.
started pressing in on them, and they dumped it.
The part that I don't get is why would they not just wait until the police figure that out, and then you figure it out from the police, and so you make them do all the work, and you could do something else while they're investigating.
It was an active story. I mean, you're looking for content.
All right.
I mean, this thing's gone. Not that they expected me to find it. I think they just wanted me to question the people of why they didn't protect it.
You got your double-sided Sherlock Holmes hat.
Do you want to do another guess? I'll give you one more. I'll give you actually. I don't even know if you can name the kickers that are in the Hall of Fame. You already named one.
I thought there was only one, which is why I guess.
No, I think there's 4.
Oh.
More, yeah.
Well, I guess George Blanda, because I only thought.
I think he's gone.
Morton Anderson.
Think more
was only
local.
one.
Not that we're having this guy on, but there's another guy that I don't think is with us anymore that would be local.
Oh, well, I mean, Phil Dawson, I hope, is still with us. But that was
Does that help you?
I have no idea.
All right.
George Blanda, by the way. We lost him in 2010.
Yeah, I thought so.
2010, we lost.
When did we lose Lou the Toe Groza?
Let me look that up for you, big dog.
You were correct. Actually, you know what? Heard of him?
Should have. He played here. And Cleveland.
What, here? Oh, Ohio State, you mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, we lost
Ohio State.
We lost old Lou on November 29th, 2000.
He will not be coming on tomorrow.
Gotcha. I have
I'll
no
give you
idea
the name. I hope you've heard of this guy, because it might hurt me because you didn't know who Tim Crumry was. That hurt me. But I'm okay. You're a young guy. Jan Stenerud. You ever heard the name?
You made up that name.
Okay. Well, he's coming on tomorrow, so be respectful.
All right, Sten.
Yes.
Oh,
Call him Mr. Stenerud.
As long as he's not a coach.
All right. I only owe you one power core.
It's all good.
All right. We're going to come back. The trade, Maddie, is this guy misunderstood? And is this the team to get the best out of him? That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
This week's Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame moment features a come-from-behind Mother's Day victory for a team on their way to a division championship. On Sunday afternoon, May 13th, 2012, after a 3-hour and 36-minute rain delay, Reds starter Bronson Arroyo would throw the first pitch in a game against the Washington Nationals at Great American Ballpark. For the fans that stuck around till the end, 3 hours and 45 minutes later, the wait would be more than worthwhile.
So now here's Votto with 2 home runs and a double already under his belt, with the bases loaded and a chance to win the ball game. A single by Hannigan, and then with 2 out, back-to-back walks, 2 excellent at-bats for both Drew Stubbs and Chris Heisey to bring us to this point right here. And here's the 2-2 pitch. And a high fly ball way back in center field. It is out of here. A grand slam home run for Joey Votto. And this one belongs to the Reds. What a finish. Joey Votto's second career grand slam, and it couldn't have come in a more dramatic fashion. 3 home runs, 4 hits on the day, and the Reds win one for the ages.
The Hall of Fame moment is brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put their financial strength behind you. Visit westernsouthern.com.
Spring showers revealing roofing or siding issues? Trust the pros at Newman Roofing for expert care, white glove service, and quality you can count on. Schedule your estimate today and take advantage of special financing options. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit newmanroofing.com today.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I know firsthand what it's like to battle through joint pain. After years of the hard hits and the wear and tear on the field, I thought pain, it was just going to be something I had to live with. Let me tell you, that's no longer the case thanks to QC Kinetics. For over 8 years, QC Kinetics has been leading the charge nationwide in non-surgical joint pain relief, helping over 50,000 patients get back to doing what they love, pain-free. Whether it's your knees, back, hips, shoulders, you pick it. If joint pain's been slowing you down, you need to hear about what Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team in Columbus are doing. They're using cutting-edge regenerative medicine, natural biologic treatments with powerful healing properties to repair and restore damaged joint tissue. No surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. Just real results. The kind of treatment I wish I had access to during my playing days, and now you do. Imagine this summer playing around a golf, chasing the kids, and just enjoying a walk without the pain. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-228-4544. They now have offices in Grove City and Canal Winchester.
2 men. One is very white, fat, and bald. The other is not very white at all. Delightfully husky and getting bald. They have a radio show. It's good. T-Bone and Titus.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9 starting May 12th.
The Fan.
Have you ever told a friend
Oh, I'm fine.
when you really felt
Just so overwhelmed.
or sent a text
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
when you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Most Ohioans believe every student, regardless of zip code, income, or background, deserves a great public education. And it's Ohio's dedicated public school educators who make that possible. This Teacher Appreciation Week, join the Ohio Education Association in saying thank you. Tell us about a teacher making a big impact and they could win a vacation package from NEA member benefits or other great prizes, including pizza for their students. Go to ohea.org to nominate a teacher, because public education matters.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Enjoy the nice weather today. A mix of sun and clouds this afternoon of a high in the 70s. We'll drop to the low 50s tonight. 60s tomorrow as scattered showers come back in for your Thursday. We'll be back to dry weather in 60s Friday, sunshine, and 70s as we head into your Mother's Day weekend. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time.
Let's do it, because at Bet365, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians right now cooking. Middle of the 7th inning, they are up 8-3 on the Washington Nats. So it looks like they're going to get it done in our nation's capital. If you're a new listener and you don't know about Bet365, listen closely, because you need to hop on over there right now. They've got a great sign-up offer where you bet $5, you're going to get $150 in bonus bets whether you win or lose. So download the Bet365 app today and check out their website as well.
So let me give you another real added benefit from Bet365. And I experienced this firsthand.
Okay.
I had put the Boston Celtics in a money line parlay the other night.
Yeah.
They wound up losing the game in overtime. Okay? So I'm kind of down in the dumps. I can't believe they lost the game, and I paired it with a couple of things that won. But guess what? Since they went up so big early in the game, and they were up 20, I got the early payout, the early green check mark. I won the bet even though they lost the game.
It's good living. It's good living.
So check out the early payouts as well.
Absolutely.
Because you don't have to be right at the end to win the money. And I experienced it this week.
First you get the money,
then you got to powering a woman.
I'm looking at the Celtics tonight, AR. Horrendous shooting performance from them in game number 1, as you just mentioned. 15 of 60 from 3. But I'm looking at three-pointers made tonight. I'm looking at Jason Tatum again. I'm going back to the Jason Tatum well. He got up 15 threes in the first game. This is what they do. This is why they won a championship last year. So give me 4 3-pointers tonight for the former Duke Blue Devil and Jason Tatum at plus 115 in game 2.